Namaskar. Hello and welcome to 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘁 channel. I'm your host, Sree Iyer. Joining me today is Professor R Vaidyanathan, also fondly called as Professor RV. And we are going to be talking about what is happening in the INDI Alliance. Is this a do or die effort for them? 2024 elections, we are already seeing the handing of the baton in some of these F20 families. And again, the family concept is not going away. But what does this mean for the overall democracy that is India? To know all this and more, let's welcome Professor RV. But before that, please like this video and don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Also, I need to tell you about one little thing. As you are watching this program, if you're watching it, let us say on your smartphone, 90% of you do. There on the bottom right, you will see a dollar icon. If you click on the dollar icon, then you will be given two options, whether you want to use smart chat or super chat or super sticker. If you do either one of them, depending on how much money you put into that, your chat, which means your message, will stay in the chat window for a longer time. Same way, if you put a sticker, then you can choose a sticker, and then that will also, depending on what is your contribution, it will stay longer in the host chat window. Just give it a try and see how it works. And I'm not asking you to put a lot of money. It's just a show of appreciation. Many of you ask me, how do we donate to 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘁? Because, all these payment schemes are not working out right. This is a very simple way to do that. So, having said that, let's welcome Professor RV. Professor RV, namaskar and welcome to 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘁𝘁 channel, sir.
Namaskaram. It's always a delightful experience to interact with 𝗣𝗚𝘂𝘁 audience. I sincerely thank Sree Iyer for the opportunities being provided. And I am given to understand it is expanding leaps and bounds, and hopefully it should convert itself into a global TV network. Sooner it is done, it is better. Maybe you should hire a lot of youngsters and like other channels to make it into a TV network, so that it provides hot news and various type of discussions, and it's a very good thing which is happening. And let 24 bring a lot of cheers and good news to 𝗣𝗚𝘁𝘁, and all those people who are watching and who are expected become subscriber to 𝗣𝗚𝘁𝘁 and show your affection. It's not the question of how much amount you are contributing. It's a question of your support to the channel. Maybe a meager amount, maybe a couple of dollars, whatever it is, right? What you spend in the Starbucks or what you spend in the McDonald's, you can think in terms of providing to 𝗣𝗚𝘁𝘁. Of course, our continuous and constant support to Sachin required to be appreciated. He is the what he call the background but front ground man who understand the nuances, and who is also a very good advisor to the participants. Okay, let's now today look at the challenges which are being faced by the DOT Alliance, otherwise known as INDIA Alliance for 24. Of course, many of the Modi supporters or whatever you call it, what is known as Godi media and various other channels, they all dismiss it as inconsequential, in the sense they can't come together, and I think they are trying to completely misread the situation. And the same thing I am worrying is what happened in 2004 election. The opposition was minimized, and finally they could put together a ragtag but still a good coalition in order to come back to power. Now, first issue is this DMK issue. There is a lot of talk. This DMK chief Balu wanted the Hindi talk of Nitish Kumar to be in English, and Manoj started, and Nitish Kumar told nothing doing. Two people should learn Hindi, and this has become a big thing. And they say why DMK is not quitting. And similarly, on the Congress side, they are asking question, why are they still clinging to DMK? Now, this DMK and Congress alliance is a very interesting thing. It's more like a abused housewife, continue to stay. It's not, they are not going to go away anywhere. The drunken husband will come and beat her up every day night, and she will be with that only. She will learn to live with it, and it's not going to be any different. And yes, Iyer.
Sir, I'm also hearing a variation on this, sir, where the wife keeps beating the husband, but when she's beating the husband, she's saying ayo, 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 ayo. So outside people all will think that the husband is beating the wife. These are also happening these days, sir.
No, anyhow, any which way, the point I want to make is people may not know history, but DMK has never ever contested any election alone. In its entire electoral history of from 1962, you can see it's always alliance. That's the strategy they have adopted, and Karunanidhi always used to say that we will go with the alliance, and none of the alliance parties will be provided a cabinet position. That is most important. They will all be together, but they will never be given the government will be that of DMK only. So the DMK is depending on the alliance is common knowledge, but they will provide benefits to the alliance partners in terms of various corporation chairmanship, various type of. Last election, they openly provided, actually, they announced it also, 10 crore and 15 crore for CPA and CPM. It's not something which is hidden or anything. So they provide, they keep their alliance partners happy. They spread the happiness all around by providing them the opportunities. And for instance, if you know about Madras city, Chennai, you will observe CPI has got a very large area and a building, and they have rented it out to various types of companies, MNCs, and this and that, another thing. And their rental income is a huge portion of their earning today. Comparatively, CPM has not done that. Very interesting, actually. CPM's office is still occupied only by them. This is something very interesting for people to study. Anyhow, so the DMK without alliance is not possible. Why Congress? Why should it go with DMK? See, the only party which steadfastly wanted Rahul Gandhi to be the Prime Minister of the country is DMK. Even today they are telling Rahul is the PM candidate, and in Tamil Nadu, many people may or may not know, Rahul still gets a significant number of percentage of votes to become PM compared to Modi. He is more popular than Modi as of now. Now, there is no rhyme or reason for Congress to ditch DMK in such a situation. The only party which is totally family concerned, another thing. Plus, those 6 or 7 MP seats which they may be winning, they may get 10, or they say they will ask for 15, but given the current configuration, one doesn't know. Anyhow, those are very critical seats for Congress. That cannot be ignored by Congress, because every additional seat is a big boon for Congress. That is another thing. The third thing is DMK itself is fond of Congress for the simple reason they are one of the parties which Iyer was telling the other way, but any amount of insult they will swallow. They will just take it, and then they will ignore it, or they will not respond to it or anything. So that is the stay. In other words, long time before, Cho Ramasamy, editor of Tughlaq, in a speech openly told something, and then he was telling the Congress leader, before Satyamurthy Bhavan, you can erect a plaque and then write all the slogans of EVR. And then he jocularly told congressmen no more go to Satyamurthy Bhavan. They all go to Arivalayam, the headquarters of DMK. So yes, this was told much earlier part of 2010 or something, or before that. The point I want to stress is Congress is completely now part and parcel of DMK. So they are not in a position to take any independent decisions or anything. They say High Command will decide, and that is where. So that's one part of the INDI Alliance. The other part is very interestingly, Kejriwal and Mamata met each other before the alliance meet on that December 19. Then they decided to what one can call, announce Kharge to be their candidate. This might have been with Congress knowledge or without Congress knowledge. Anyhow, this is the first time Congress is openly announcing a non-family member as a candidate of their, if it comes through. It has some plus points. One is whether one likes it or not, Kharge will play the Dalit card fully. And in Karnataka, kindly note, the BJP last time got 26 out of 28 seats. 26 out of 28. And Kharge, if he is announced as prime ministerial candidate for INDI, that could get affected. Definitely, 5 or 6 seats at least they will be able to wean away from, other than the Congress being a ruling party, etc. That is one thing which should be kept in the back of the mind. Second is, Kharge will be more like MMS. He will be a very good candidate. All actions, all things can be done by the Rahul family, but still Kharge can be projected as a PM. The only minus point is I am told he is already 82. So by the time assuming he wins, and then by the time he completes, it would be something like 87. It's not a very young age, even though in India, people in 70s are youth icon, people in 60s are youth icons, another thing. We have plenty of icons who are floating around, because they say at the end of the tunnel there is a light, but here it is at the end of light there is a tunnel. Every light you end and then you find a tunnel. So like that it goes. Anyhow, 82 is, but you see, when you are offered a position like prime ministership, you may or may not get it. You tend to become very young. Some of you may or may not know, Narasimha Rao was not very, he was ill actually. He was not in very good shape. But once he became PM, his whole thing, debonair as well as his health improved quite a lot. I think the Prime Minister chair has got some old, Ayurvedic or whatever the treatment.
Properties.
Once you sit there,
Properties.
yeah, once you sit there, you become like the old, the story of Kalidasa time, the chair, the magical chair. Anyhow, so that's age is not on his side, definitely. His ability to go around the country and campaign, and he is not well known everywhere in the country. The other components of Dot Alliance, namely our friends, supposedly Lalu Yadav, who is a convicted criminal on bail, convicted criminal, let's be very clear about it again and again. And he goes around, he is supposed to be on health reasons on bail, but he goes around the country, flies and attends meetings and gives press conference. Only in India this can happen, actually. I do not know why the press people, ask him questions at all. He should be ignored. He should be told that you are a convicted criminal, but nobody wants to talk about it. Maybe many in the press like convicted criminals because they find themselves in cohorts or friendship with, you are inside, we are outside. We are very glad that you are outside. That could be one reason, because the quality of journalists has also significantly come down. Many of them are not fit to be called a journalist in the old tradition. Just like the quality of the MPs have come down. Look at the debate during Ramanogar Logia time or Acharya Kripalani time, and look at the thing today. And so this Lalu and Nitish are the supposedly not very glad about this Kharge, because the Kharge projection, Dalit projection may not go very well in states like Bihar. That is what my hunch is. The other is many of the MPs have been suspended by the ruling group. I really, let me be very frank, I don't understand their game plan. Why should they suspend 134 or whatever number of MPs from the parliament suddenly? And particularly for the more or less the last major session of the parliament, they have suspended. I do not know. One thing I was wanting the ruling group to do, which I think they have not done so far, is to bring a bill allowing CBI to investigate the cases against state level leaders without a nod from the state government. This is very, very important. That is one thing they should be doing. Other thing they should be doing is the energy sector. Energy sector is highly segmented. You have coal, you have nuclear, you have hydro, you have non-conventional, you have gas, and everything is highly segmented in terms of taxes, in terms of subsidies, in terms of regulation. Each state is having their own, what one can call kingdom. So there is huge amount of arbitrage opportunities. Everybody, you buy gas in one state, take it to another state, and then from there you sell it. It's a very, very and cumbersome. And similarly, the same thing for petrol and the other type of fuel. Non-conventional energy, less said about it, better. I think the energy sector as a whole should also be brought into concurrent list if possible. If we want to become really $1 trillion or a global economy, we can never become a global economy unless we address the crisis in the energy sector and the way in which the operators are manipulating. So two things, CBI should be allowed. One. Second is, and a very shocking actually, you see in Tamil Nadu, ED has been put on a back foot by the local DAVP, the anti-corruption wing, and the court says not going to be involved, and I am sure it will go to Supreme Court, and it's going to be a long drawn out battle. And the question is, ED is under the control of the finance ministry. It's a very clear thing. Whenever there is a money laundering or whenever there is a terrorism financing, then it is referred to the Home Ministry. There is nothing hide and seek about it. And their call is, being rejected. The Kejriwal says he will not go for ED's call. Yeah. So how long this can continue, I do not know. Anyhow, the game plan is not clear to me in suspending these MPs. I went through all the, what one can call messages on this from both the ruling as well as I could not get a decent reply. Why they have done this suddenly now and what they expect the spin-off to be, and is it going to consolidate the dot alliance? This is my important question. If it is going to consolidate, then will it be advantageous? One theory I read is the regional parties are worried that Congress is taking its place. Like in Telangana, the regional party has been sidelined and Congress has come with a big bang. So, regional parties, or what I call the family parties, are extremely rich. Let's be clear about it. Congress, I do not know how rich they are because they are now asking for some money to be given to some internet agency for financing them. But regional parties are very rich and the regional parties require funds, huge amount of funds. One Dravidian leader told me as early as the beginning of 2010 that they require something like 30 to 40 lakh per day in order to run their machine. They have huge centers, huge number of officers all over the state. I'm talking about one state, what to call operation, not the national party. And each of these offices have to be delivered these newspapers, then some tea, samosa, dosa, idli, something has to be distributed for the cadets who come there. Then conducting local meetings, and every meeting implies, the loudspeakers and the tube lights and arrangement for stages and other thing. He told me 30-40 lakh minimum, sir, for running our party we require. Where from they are going to get this money? It's going to come in the form of black money. That is why today there is a report suggesting one Orissa Congress related leader has been raided by IT and huge amount of cash has been found. And it is going to take ages for IT to prove it is disproportionate to their source of income. I've been suggesting one way to beat the system is by the law to be amended to say you cannot keep cash more than 5 lakh at a point of time. That itself should be made a crime. And this rule was there in the post Second World War situation for many of the European countries. Now this rule is not there, of course, because most of them are on plastic cards. In India also, the DigiCash is becoming extremely popular. So in that context, it's not required for anyone to keep huge amount of cash. There is no need to prove that it is disproportionate or anything. You just cannot keep cash more than 5 lakh. If you require to keep for any purposes, contingencies, or requirement, you seek the approval of the bank or a RBI. Anyhow, this I have been shouting hoarse for a very long period of time. That's the only method by which these F20 can be dealt with. They are cash rich, all of them, and all of them are obscenely rich actually, to that extent that they can provide a huge amount of benefits to all their supporters as well as all their leaders and other things. Take DMK for instance. Most of the district leaders are all Chota kings. They themselves are like our Ponmudi and he has his sons, his grandsons, and Ken Nehru. So many one can go on listing actually. There are significant number of father, son, MLA, MP in the political party. Most of these parties are like this only. They hand over it to their own friends and relatives. They are stinkingly rich. That's what I want to stress. So they can spend money. For instance, the so-called formula evolved by Alagiri for an election near Madurai that is being followed, that to give cash to people before vote. Very simple. Earlier it used to be 500, then it became 1000, then now people are talking about 5000. So take the cash and then they will put their vote to you. So this is what is the amount of cash they have got is something mind-boggling. This is whether it is Sheikh Abdullah's grandson's party in Jammu and Kashmir or the Mulayam Singh Yadav's son's party. All of them are cash rich. This election, if, which is a big if, INDI Alliance completely loses, then many of the F20 parties will come to an end. Family parties, because people will not have much enormous appreciation for them or anything. But can BJP do it? BJP got 26 out of 26 in Gujarat in 2019, 25 out of 25 in Rajasthan, 28 out of 29 in Madhya Pradesh, 9 out of 11 in Chhattisgarh, 23 out of 48 in Maharashtra. It was under a different permutation combination alliance that time. And Bihar 17 out of 40. That time also there was a different type of alliance. UP they got 71 out of 80. And their own supportive, Apna Dal and others got a couple of seats. West Bengal they got 18 out of 42. Karnataka 26.
Professor RV, in UP they got 60, sir, 60. You're talking about 2014 numbers. No, the number you're saying 71 plus 2 is 2014 numbers.
They got 71 out of 80. I'm telling you. I have the EC numbers with me. Actually, anyhow, the point I want to make is they should continue to get these numbers. Two states become extremely important for them. One is Maharashtra, other is Bihar. These two states are very important for them. Congress, of course, is having a problem. Almost all the major states, West Bengal, Congress can be practically, ruled out. Bihar, Congress is extremely dependent on Lali of all the persons. That Maharashtra, Congress has some presence, but still it has to totally depend on Sharad Pawar, etc. groups. I'm talking about the big states. Big five are UP, Bihar, West Bengal, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. These are the big five, I call them. And UP Congress is practically written off. And Tamil Nadu also, Congress position is as a appendix of DMK. This is what. So the BJP has to win all this state and improve position in Maharashtra and Bihar. This is very, very critical. Because to the best of my knowledge, they are not going to increase significantly in South. If at all, Karnataka 26 out of 28 may come down to 20. This is very important. So the seat they lose in Karnataka, they are not going to make it up in any of the other southern states. So where are they going to, in case the numbers I read are going to be reduced by 25-30 even, it's going to be a big struggle for BJP to get 272 mark. Again, let me make that very important, or what Sonia used to call 272 mark. It's not easy. And of course, their supporters are talking about 400, and I'm not very enamored by all those numbers as of today, because as long as the F20 power is still on, and completely they are having the grip over the local politics. So this is not going to be easy. Iyer, tell me.
Sir, please go ahead and have a sip of water. I want to explain a couple of things to our viewers. Number one, viewers, many of you may not be aware, but in Telangana, one of the big reasons given for the resounding victory was the announcement that every household that is led by a woman will get 20,000 rupees per month. 20,000 rupees per month. This was the promise given. Whether they'll do it or not is a different matter. So in Telangana, they have made this promise, and this is one of the main reasons why they have come to power. Also, I want to tell viewers, 2014, at the time of formation of Telangana, Telangana was a surplus state. Why? Because Chandrababu Naidu concentrated on Hyderabad being the fulcrum around which the growth of the united Andhra Pradesh happened. And when Hyderabad went to Telangana, all the riches went to Telangana. 44% of Telangana's revenues, I could be off here or there, so Professor R.V. knows the numbers, was coming from Hyderabad. So this is the kind of situation. Today, Telangana is already a deficit state. In just one term, KCR ruined it. People don't understand the fiscal responsibility of running a state, especially when you're given a surplus state. And look what Arvind Kejriwal has done. He's ruined Delhi also. These people are urban naxals. They don't know how to rule. They'll destroy something that has been put together by somebody else. This is their awqat. Understand, guys. I mean, we can say, oh, you say it in English, nobody's going to listen. No, people are listening to English. And this is also, some of you are YouTubers. You can take P. Guru's content, put it in the language, the dialect you want. We have no problem. And explain that Professor R.V. of IIM said this. Sree Iyer from US, inventor, said this. You can quote us. Yes, sir.
Most important is, you see, the current consumption versus future benefits. The people are offered all these, for instance, the old pension scheme will be back. Free bus service, which has been provided in both the Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, free for women.
Telangana now. I'm Telangana now. Telangana also
these are the current consumption benefits which people love actually. See, the important point is, as long as people think that current benefits are important, that is what Priyanka Gandhi has been telling everywhere, are so-called 5 guarantees, which she is offering. Will give instant, like your 20,000 rupees to every woman of the household in Telangana, like that, But it will damage the economic fabric of the country is another matter. We will come to power, and I do not know whether you remember, in 67, Annadurai used to promise 3 measures of rice for 1 rupee. And later on, it was told that 1 measure we will try to give, and measure for measure. It was finally told that it is just to give the boost to the Tamil society and Tamil culture and all sorts of rubbish. The point is, you make any type of promises, Some of them are you are able to fulfill, some of them you cannot fulfill at all. And our memory is very short. Let's be very clear about it. I have always maintained when Indians were created by Brahma, he removed one cell, which is called memory cell. Our ability to recall the past. We have so much debate about Adi Shankara's date and the date of Kalidasa. Forget about all those things. A simple thing like, in Bengal, even today, a big controversy about when is the birthday of Rabindranath Tagore, Kabiravi, who was not a 100th century before or 10th century before or anything. So, our memory cell has been removed. And then in its place, I think they have kept some pleasure cell or something. So, you ask the F20 parties have promised you this or that, they will say, sir, these are all very common. See, we have become inured to so many things. You should observe, read, see this, for instance, example, Tamil video, Tamil TV debates. Recently, I think you are aware that Minister Ponmudi, he was given a 3-year imprisonment by court as well as fine for some corruption charges and other things. Immediately he lost his MLA post as per law, as well as the minister post. His lawyers are telling they will appeal to Supreme Court. That's fine. But the entire TV debates in Tamil Nadu, the people who are the experts or whatever it is, participants, not the DMK one, others also, they told it may not have any impact on the political situation. I was shocked actually. This is the first time a minister of DMK has been punished. So far, they have always been telling our ministers have never been punished, another thing. Lower level judiciary has been very supportive of DMK. That's what this case came up. Otherwise, this case would not have come up at all. Any other point I want to make is people are inured or people are very, very forgetful. Then, so these are very common, sir, in politics. People say it's a very sad state of affairs. Probity in public life is not demanded. So the current consumption debate will continue for some more time, as long as there are. But surprisingly, in states like Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, this did not work. Even though they are relatively supposed to be illiterate and poorer state, there it should have worked completely in favor. But maybe some people say, no, BJP gave counter offer and they made a more attractive proposition and other thing. But some states like Himachal Pradesh, who promised old pension scheme, I am told are having now second thoughts. Because many of the states are broke otherwise. They are not able to meet their running expenses of paying salaries and other things. They realize it's not very easy to, go back to old pension scheme or provide all these benefits continuously and other things. But I do not know when the break-even point will come. That is, sorry. When people will realize that this, Revdi or this benefit-based voting is not desirable to us and to them. So there, F20 has got an advantage. Their ability to give left and right promises is something unbelievable actually. And they will go on a rampage, I am telling. Because the caste card is not working much. That's what they realized in the 3 states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So caste card is not working much. North-South divide also, I am not sure how much they will be able to take advantage of it, even though they will fuel the fire. North-South divide. Some security guard in Goa made some Hindi comment and that became a big issue. As Nitish Kumar put his foot down and told 𝗤𝙗𝘍𝗼, shut up. You learn Hindi and it's a national language. There has not been even a murmur of protest or any major. So this is this north-south thing is may not acquire a major dimension, is my assessment, at least by the official family parties. It might be creating some, thing at the lower level and at the middle level that would create some firework and other thing. So the caste card, north-south divide, then another one is regarding this, what one can call language skirmish. All these things may not be a major issue, but Revdi may be a major issue. This is what one has to be very careful, and how much BJP is able to convince people that long-term benefits are more critical than this short-term, what one can call this gratis which is provided. So this is a very, very important battle for the family parties. Let's be very clear about it. Because if they lose this, their ability to come back is very low. Because 10 years already they were not in power at the center. They are used to being power at the center. Whether it is
Coffers are
Mamata.
running low. Coffers
Huh?
are running low. Coffers are
Huh?
running low. Coffers are running low. Treasury chest is running low because they are not in power in center.
Yes, they are not in power for the last 10 years, and it will be another 5 years. You have to wait. And at the state level, they are again having difficulties or problem. So this is going to be a Kurukshetra, I would say, a major battle in 24, which should not be minimized. Let's wait and see how it works out.
Yes.
Maybe in a couple of weeks, the position will become very clearer.
Yes, sir. Because all the seat adjustments are going to be talked about, so we will have a better clarity. Professor Avi, take a sip of water, sir, so we can get ready for questions. Sir, we have a lot of questions, so please.
Somebody mentioned it is 2,500 and not 20,000. I do not know. You can check on that.
I'd like that person to actually send a link, because my recollection is it was 20,000. It was a big number. Yeah, it was a big number. Anyway, you can send a link that shows what it is. Let's go to some questions now. Sir, please take a sip of water. We have a lot of questions, sir.
Yeah.
Narayan, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you for your super sticker, Sree 𝗤𝙑 𝗤𝘂𝘁.
Congratulations, 𝗤𝘂𝘁.
Shreyasu became a YouTube member. Thank you. Thank you, Kaushik Shah, for having super sticker. Sir, many of them are your students, sir. They are saying Naman.
Sir, as analyst, what do you think? First thing the people see in Uttar Pradesh and Northern India, change in 10 years, beneficiaries and BJP is sweeping north. Let's wait and see. Bihar is extremely important. As I told, UP would have seen a good amount of changes because of Adityanath Yogi, and Bihar and Maharashtra are the two states to watch, along with West Bengal. West Bengal, of course, Didi has her own charm and her own, what one can call goons to deal with all these issues. But Maharashtra and Bihar are two states to watch, I would say.
Professor RV, goons can be controlled. You just need to have the right amount of people in the right booths of CRPF. They can be controlled. It's not that hard. This is all. There's a wink, nod also going on, sir. I mean, that needs to be done. If BJP wants to get 18 seats in West Bengal, they need to better that. First thing they need to make sure is that they swamp all the constituencies in West Bengal with CRPF. Nobody should even sneeze out of town. That's what they need to do. Will they do it? Will these goons be kept in check? You can take them all into custody. These are all regular cheaters. Their names are there in every police station. Many of them have to go and sign. Keep them inside for the election. See what happens. This can be done. This can be done. The question is, will Amit Shah say, I am daring you, Mamta Didi, dekh lete hain. Ye idhar ka udhar dikha jaye. This has to be done. Somebody has to call their bluff. That's all I would say, sir. I mean, As a person, Mamata may be a great person, but as a politician, West Bengal is the worst place to really, be a politician. Very, very difficult. Sarath Reddy wants to know, what is the impact of Dhankhar's imitation vice president in parliament outside and
Not
the
much.
cheating video?
I
See,
would
this is
say
what he
this
says,
is,
right? The memory cell is taken out.
and I don't think that will have a major impact or anything. Because if you attend an average meeting of any of these political party, you will find much more mimicry, much more abuse, much more intolerant behavior by the middle level leaders. So this is only reflected at the parliament level. That's all. This is not something new or anything, I would say. So it won't have much impact.
Next one, please. Giri wants to know, sir, how did you get into Indian Statistical Institute? Could you talk about that prep and your relation and approach to mathematics?
Oh gosh, there were some, in those days, very funny. There were entrance exam and interview. And if you are selected, next day you have to join. You can't come back home and then go back another thing. So you carry your, luggage in the hold all. It used to be told in those days. I went all the way. And if you are not selected, you have to go back. So this is a very tense type of a moment. Written exam, sorry, both the multiple choices as well as regular questions on various aspects of whatever we knew in statistics at graduate level, undergraduate level. And then the interview. The interview was one of the very tough thing because 7 or 8 major stalwarts, including C.R. Rao, were sitting there. And you are given a chalk piece on the blackboard. In those days, there was no such thing as computer or anything. So you have to write the answers. So if I remember, I was given some a matrix and a vector and asked to multiply and eigenvalues and some such questions were asked. Anyhow, on the whole, but they were very friendly. That is E.M. Paul. He was one of the major teachers in those days. And if I remember some of the names, Adhikari, then Roy, these were some of the very, giants in their field. Hanumant Rao, they were all, but they were very, polite, friendly, and helpful only. In the sense, they were not very aggressive or anything. So it's a very interesting times. Now I do not know what exactly is the procedure and what is the method and other thing. Preparation wise, whatever I did in undergraduate, I studied well. In the sense, I didn't do any. 𝗤𝙤𝙤𝘀 𝗤𝙗𝑆, if I remember, was one of the most popular statistical textbook. And then inference and various other aspects of it, I did study well. And I used to love mathematics throughout, and I can tell without any consternation, without any thing, I was always ranked 1 in mathematics, and statistics. So it was a good thing. And I should tell you one important thing. The day I landed at Howrah, I was not very familiar with Bengali or not much in Hindi also. And I have never traveled outside Chennai, T Nagar. So I landed at, and then I wanted to go to BT Road. One taxi fellow took me. In those days, there were 3 types of bandh in Calcutta. One is called Para Bandh, that is local bandh. Second is city bandh. Third is the state bandh. So that day it was a local bandh. So the Indian Statistical Institute located at Barakpur Trunk Road on the northern side of Calcutta, not very far from border actually. During Bangladesh war, we went to the border and went inside. That's a different story. Anyhow, the taxi fellow, it is that place is called Katakol, that ISI where it was located. The taxi fellow stopped at 2 stations before. 2 stations mean 2 stops before in the BT Road. Chiriya mode or Chinti mode, I don't remember the exact thing. And then he told, you go from here. I asked him, what is happening? He told, I can't go there. There is a bandh. Then I was to keep he advised me, you keep the box on top of your head, and anyone stopping you, you say statistical. That is the code word. And people respect enormously statistical here in this area. On one side, of course, there used to be Nakshal. Other side, there used to be Yuva Congress. There used to have believe me, bullet fights, regular, with arms and other. And there was some supposed to be, after we reached in 2 months or so, there was a great Baranagar killing. Huge number of Nakshals are supposed to have been killed in the backside. That was Siddharth Shankar Ray way of dealing with Naxalites. Anyhow, so I walked all the way to statistical, and then I stepped into the premises hostel, and I was told that you should ask for Rao, not that C.R. Rao. There used to be another Cook Rao who was extremely critical. He was a cook who is from Karnataka, Udupi. He was called Cook Rao, but Cook Rao is more, jokingly it used to be told, more important than C.R. Rao because Cook Rao is the one who arranges everything. He will advise you, he will suggest, and he will provide you also if he is in a good mood. Those are to all the students and other things. He was the head cook in the thing, and he allotted a room, and he wished me also well. Then next day was the interview. We went for the interview, and if I remember, that day evening itself, the results were announced. A couple of people who came with me from other parts, they have to return back. I was not to return back. I rushed to the nearest post office and sent a telegram home. That is the only way in those days, and then you have to write an Indian letter. After that, I wrote a long Indian letter how I have been selected, another thing. My parents back home did not understand what is this ISI, where it is located. Anyhow, they were happy that I was selected. And believe me, in those days, they used to give monthly some stipend, 75 rupee, or I don't remember the exact amount, for post-graduation itself. And then if you stand in rank, you used to be given some books and extra money. It's something very, I am told now the institute has substantially changed. Obviously, I am talking about 71, 73, and today 2023. So obviously it would have substantially changed. Thank you for asking me, Giri, this question for me to recollect the earlier tangle.
Next question, please. Narayan P wants to know, by every meeting of INDI Alliance, sir, do you think the group is starting to fall apart?
No, it's not falling apart. Actually, I will say in every meeting it is getting more and more consolidated. For instance, in the last meeting, Kharge name was mentioned. The only other than Nitish Kumar, I don't see anybody else strongly feeling about it. And I am later told that Rahul rang up Nitish Kumar in order to pacify him. I feel finally they will arrive at a solution like 4 deputy prime ministers, one from south, one from west, one from north, one from east and northeast.
Sir, what did center do? What did center do? Why don't you have one for center also?
Huh? Oh, that's
What
a good
did
point.
center do?
Right.
One for center
But
also.
in case the law permit, they may even have 4 prime ministers. But I think I am told by some legal expert that you cannot have more than 1 prime minister. So deputy prime ministers, they can have 4: south, west, north, and northeast, plus this, maybe 5. God knows. Anyhow, that is what I want to say is the meetings consolidate their alliance. You are not understanding that each of them is extremely worried about their position. And each of them is worried about their position vis-a-vis BJP as well as vis-a-vis Congress. Look at Telangana, what has happened. BRS has gone, but who has come? So Many of them also feel that minority votes will shift significantly to Congress. And they were the ones who were very confident of minority vote. So they don't want to, what one can call loose. They don't want to become like gooseberries and go away. They want to be together. And thieves falling apart is good in stories, but not in real life. This is a good alliance, I am telling. Good I mean in terms of their togetherness. Okay.
Mr. Lee wants to know, many BJP insiders have no respect for PhDs and assume it to be a waste of time, probably due to JNU. Can Bharat adopt a Sanskrit replacement terminology for the PhD title? Acharya.
Terminology you can always change, but mindset change is not very easy, I would say. You can just, change one thing into another, but that's not going to significantly alter. And I also don't believe that they don't have any respect for PhDs. No. I think they are in the sense they don't give any extra marks for PhD. That's all. They don't give any additional importance for PhD, but that's okay. Right? Okay.
Thank you, Sree Ganapati Kulottungan.
Kulottungan has made 200.
Yes. I'm feeling thankful to see such a good-hearted personality, RV sir and Sree sir. I'm amazed and learn myself from you legends. Please keep going.
Wishes to all. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you all, because we may not
have
occasion.
I think we are going to come back next week also, I'm hoping.
Oh, okay. Then otherwise, Happy New Year as well as Happy Sankranti. All of that happy. Earlier itself we are telling. Is Kharge an antidote to 10 Janpath? No. They are thinking like that, but Kharge would be similar to Manmohan Singh. Except Manmohan Singh was selected after 2004 poll as a surprise. Otherwise, Sonia would have, become PM. But there are different versions of it, and Abdul Kalam was not inclined, and Dr. Swami seemed to have suggested she cannot become all these. Anyhow, she didn't become, and so this Kharge will definitely be under the advice he will provide, and whatever advice is given by Priyanka and Sonia, Rahul also will be followed. I don't think there will be antidote.
Advice.
Correct.
Next one.
Right.
𝗣𝗣𝗣 wants to know, in recent interview, Prashant Kishor challenged to defeat BJP in Bihar in next elections, but did not say if it was Assembly or Lok Sabha.
No, Bihar is a very complicated state. Let's be very clear about it. It's not very easy. And our gentleman Nitish Kumar is changed political parties as much as Elizabeth Taylor changed her husbands. So he has been this side, that side, this side, and currently he is supposed to be with this side. And many of his subordinates want him to be the PM. He somehow visualizes himself as PM material. Most others also. Kejriwal also visualizes himself as. Who is not a PM material? You tell me.
Sir, Gummidi Pundi Mayor also thinks that, sir. Gummidi Pundi Mayor also thinks he wants to be PM material, sir.
I would not like to place any bet on Bihar. As much as Bihar and Maharashtra are, as I tell you, is going to be most challenging states in the coming poll. And each Bihar has got, if I remember correctly, 40 seats. One of the largest state. And Maharashtra, I think, has got 48. More than Bihar, actually. So these two are going to be very decisive. Assuming, of course, UP, they are performing well. This NDA. 5 states you what said? West Bengal, UP, Bihar, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. These, if you add together, this will be around 200 plus seats out of 544. These 5 are very, very critical.
Vasant Kumar Verma wants to know, cash economy is mostly in real estate. Stamp duty assessment rates are dismally lower than market rates.
No, cash economy is partly in real estate. It's also in films and cricket. So it's not only in real estate. One point. Second is, I am again and again stressing, make holding cash beyond 5 lakh to be a crime. Very simple. Holding cash. I am not talking about finding out where from it came and all these things.
Right. Sir, you will be putting thieves out of business, sir. Next question, Santosh Bannur wants to know, why BJP always ignore middle class, which is the largest tax base?
It's not, middle class is maybe largest tax base, etc. But the voting class is not just middle class. But kindly note, middle class is also very large in India today. It's roughly out of 140 crore. Even if you take 30% to be middle class, something like 40 crore voters. And, of that 32 crores will be voters. So middle class is no more a small, group or anything. Kindly note, in the last 10-15 years, middle class have come of age. In the sense, they have their own constituency, and most of the towns, it is the middle class which dominate today.
Next question, please. Jahangir Gotla, thank you so much. BJP should run campaigns that remind people of how, why, and when Revdi for votes will not work. Auto ban governments when government breaks poll promises.
It's very good, but Revdi for vote don't work. It's very difficult to make it a major campaign, because as I told you, the memory cell is removed. Until and unless that cell is fixed, that cell cannot be fixed. On an average, Indians don't have any sense of memory past. But it's a good thing. As one of the, I don't know who, Rajiv Malhotra or Conrad Elstar, I don't recall who, it was pointed out, since memory cell is removed, the idea of vengeance is very low in the Indian society. So there is nothing called retribution, that they did something wrong. And for instance, in Baltic countries in Europe, up to 18 generations, they carry on the fight and finish off the other groups. Up to 18 generations, they keep records and pass it on to others. And we don't have any such idea. Actually, they are debating whether Aurangzeb really damaged this Kashi Vishwanath temple. We are just, court are expected to decide about it, another thing. That's all. If court says, no, it's a masjid only, we will accept it and go along. So, it's not a very easy thing for us to tell people that government breaks poll promises. Who remembers the poll promises? You tell me. Just now I was reading in the the Twitter. Currently it is X, it is called. One Sree Bellam, very excellently she has published. She says George Fernandez was reading a text during the no confidence motion against Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He was telling Congress is this, Congress is that. Everybody was shouting at him. Kindly tell the source from which you are talking all these things. In the end, he told the source to be CPIM manifesto of that election time. Everybody was stunned actually, because CPIM and Congress were together attacking Vajpayee government that time to bring him down. And anyhow, point is, even the party MPs did not recognize that he is reading from their own manifesto. So you can imagine the type of memory. Okay.
Next question, please. Thank you, Srinivas 𝗼𝗚𝗏𝗏, for becoming, or you are a member for 6 months. Thank you so
Excellent.
much.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
$5.
Pradeep.
Sumati,
Thank you,
very
Pradeep.
good.
Is TDP considering
TDP
merging with
don't have any
BJP?
future being alone. They don't have any future. I don't think the BJP will be very enthusiastic in having them with them in merging. It's a, Chandrababu Naidu made some miscalculations and his party is over. Very simply.
Next one, please. Srinivas 𝗼𝗚𝗏𝗏, thank you for gifting 5 P Gurus memberships. That's a very,
Very
very
good.
great gesture on your part.
𝗼𝗚𝗏𝗏.
Yeah. And 𝗼𝗚𝗏𝗏 has gifted 5 memberships. He has given it to
Oh.
Anandaraj, VA, Veena Teotia, Alekin Soul, and Mittal Kumar. Congrats to all
Very
the
good.
new members. So one of the things we will do, viewers, and I promise you this, is that we are going to be selling the Sengol in India. And that process is already on. Whatever little margins we made from selling it in the US, we are reinvesting it back to give a better price break for India, because India's customs duties are quite high, and I don't even have an idea. I just don't want to lose money on every Sengol ship that we lose money on P Guru. So that is difficult to manage. So what we want to do is to give the members a break in price on top of what the low price will be. We will do that, and we will come up with a mechanism. So stay tuned.
Somebody has asked, why should people vote for INDI Alliance, which consists of 26 cooks or crooks? I don't know.
I think it is crooks.
Cooks, I say.
I think it's
The expectation is the food will be grand, because all these 26 cooks will combine together and prepare you a grand banana leaf a marriage type of a thali. That's
Sir,
all.
Srinivas is very smart, sir. He's saying too many cooks spoil the broth.
Okay, the proof of the pudding will be in the eating. Okay.
Right. Next one, please. Vignesh Prabhu, thank you so much. RV sir, I stay at Padmanabhanagar. If you are free, can we meet for coffee table for casual talk?
No, sir, not now, because I am not well, and unfortunately my missus is also not well. So it will take, according to doctor, a couple of weeks for us to. It's supposed to be some viral fever, and it takes weeks for it to settle down. Sorry to disappoint you. Right?
Thank you, sir. And Bangalore Subramaniam Srinivasan wants to know, Namaskaram to RV and Sree. We are living in Barakpur during 60 to 71. We have seen the 65-71 war.
Oh, very
genocide
nice.
of Hindus in East Pakistan. More than 3 million refugees in Calcutta. He's going
quite
down
a large. Actually, some of my professors in MStat, second year, end of first year, 71, 73 was the war, were from Bangladesh. Dhaka University professors were directly given jobs under the instruction of the central government, and some of them were very good, actually, good professors in statistical inference. And one of them, I remember, was a horror. He gave a paper and he told, you take any amount of time, you take it to home also. And we were all shocked, actually. But his paper was so, tough. Even then, he told you can talk to each other also if you want. And then, what is the point of talking to each other when everybody is dumb? Everybody is not understanding. And after 2-3 days also, he told you can come and give it to me. Submit the paper. I don't have any. But he put some restriction before Friday or something like that. Anyhow, Majumdar is name, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the first name. He was a great guy. And so that was a very interesting Bangladeshi experience for us. Okay.
Professor Ari, one last thing, my personal experiences with all these examinations. In engineering, I was the last 5-year engineering batch in Osmania University, 5-year. My next batch was 4 years. So we both graduated at the same time, fighting for the same colleges, schools, jobs, everything. Messy anyway. And the worst thing was we were obsolete before we came out. We learned vacuum tubes, vacuum tube transistors. The next generation was learning ICs and integrated chips. Everything was a mess. Anyway, what happened was there used to be some exams, especially towards the senior year, where there used to be called Viva Voce, verbal interviews, and you're doing some experiment, and you will be in your desk doing the experiment. The Viva will be taking place in the corner of the same room, and there will be a visiting faculty and a local faculty. They'll be asking the questions. So one of my friends, a very clever guy, and he couldn't answer the first question. Then he lets us slip in saying that, sir, you are examining the depths of my ignorance. So the local professor said, I know your depth, it is infinity. Imagine the kind of questioning they used to do. It was tough. It was tough to escape through that thing, survive it. It was not easy. And they had, different questions for different students. So because everybody is listening, right? What question? Oh, no, this guy is looking it up. Oh, okay, I can answer this question. Everybody is feeling good or not so good. Everybody had a different question. Very, very tough, sir. Some of these exams are really, really tight. So
recently, I was reading in the X Twitter one sample question paper from Trichy, I think, if I remember, engineering college, NIT or something. It says in the instruction, last one, weeping is allowed, but do not disturb others. Openly, it is mentioned in the. So anyhow, that lecturer or that teacher had a sense of humor, I think, perhaps. Anyhow,
right.
So that was a good example, actually.
Okay. Thank you so much, Professor Abhi. Thank you so much. These are all, life lessons we'll never forget, especially those times when what it took to get into admission is not something that anybody can look forward to, because it's a tough time, very tough time.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Namaskar.
Thank you, and thank you, Sachin.